Hey there guys, welcome to the Back to Beach Bodies 8-week challenge. I am Marty. I am going to be your coach through this entire experience, and I'm also the one that has designed every single aspect around the challenge for you guys. So in this video, I'm basically going to run you through everything that you guys are most likely going to experience during this challenge, and basically about your goals and the best way to go about achieving those, so that you all come out at the end of this 8 weeks feeling really good about yourselves and actually having achieved those goals for yourself. So number one, we're going to be looking at weight loss here. Now, the majority of you guys are looking for some form of weight loss, whether that's just getting rid of a little bit of body fat percentage so that you can actually define the muscles that you already have or that you know you're going to gain during this challenge, or some of you that are looking to actually drop more significant weight up to about 10 kilos. First of all, we want to look at some realistic goals for that. So, realistically, you can probably expect to lose up to 8 kilograms in this challenge. Any more than that is definitely possible, but it is quite hard to keep consistent weight loss of more than a kilo a week going for the entire challenge. So at most, for any of you, we want to be looking at about 8 kilos weight loss. 6 kilos is probably ideal for those that are looking to lose some more weight, and anywhere from 3 to 4 kilos for those that are sort of just looking to tone up a little bit more than they are at the moment. So, how do we get weight loss? This is basically the only way to go about things is calories in versus calories out. There is no secret trick, there's no magic, there's no miracle product, there's no, instant cure for weight loss. The only way you're going to be able to do it is spend more energy than you put into your body. Simple as that. Simple science, really simple calculations. So what we want to look at to start with that is that there are no healthy or unhealthy foods, or bad or good foods, or foods that will help you lose weight versus foods that won't help you lose weight in this debate. Basically, we are only looking at weight loss through calories. We are not looking at it through the type of food that you guys are going to be consuming. So when you look at your meal plan, you're going to see some things in there like chips and chocolate and things like that. I want you to immediately throw out of your mind that those are unhealthy options. They are there for a reason. They're there to get you through cravings so that you can actually get through this challenge. So number one, throw away the concept of unhealthy and healthy foods. What we want to look at for your weight loss is simply getting your calories under control and maintaining that throughout the whole challenge. On that topic as well, that does mean that you can basically eat anything that you want as long as you are under your calories. Now, each of you is going to get a specific meal plan, but obviously you're going to have days where you're not going to be following that exactly. You're probably going to have a lot of days where you're not going to be following that exactly. That's totally fine as well. And if you've got really hardcore cravings, like if you want pizza, if you want burgers, something like that, you can totally do that. You've just got to sacrifice somewhere in your calories for that. So whether that is finding the option that actually fits into your lunch or your dinner that's only 300, 400 calories, no more, something like that, that's totally fine. Or, if you're really craving something, or if you've got a big dinner for a birthday or something coming up, making sure that you allow for those calories in your day. So saying, okay, I'm going to not eat breakfast today so that I know I now have 700, 800 calories to spend at lunchtime, which means oh, now I can actually have this nice burger and fries, or, you know, this meal that I've been looking forward to or something, and I haven't actually gone over my calories for the day. So that's where we want to look at food not being healthy or unhealthy. We just want to get you guys focusing on the calories in everything if your goal is weight loss. With that as well, we need to touch on alcohol. What I want to do is basically say we are alcohol free for the 8 weeks. If that's something that you know you are not going to be able to do, that's okay. Doesn't matter. You have to find a way to fit that into your calories in your diet. So if you know that, you know, a glass of wine is going to set you back 120 calories, a beer is going to set you back 150 calories, something like that, you need to say, oh, okay, well, now I can only have a half serve of my breakfast, or I can't have this snack today, or I can't have both my snacks because I'm planning on having this many drinks, blah, blah, blah. You guys have to put in some effort yourselves to figure out, what can I actually do to stay in my calories if I want to do these certain things? So that's all I'm going to say about alcohol. I'd like as many of you as possible to not have any alcohol for the whole 8 weeks. It will help you a lot with your weight loss. But if you're doing it, make sure that it fits in with your calories. Now, looking at weight loss, a lot of people will try and simply burn off the amount of calories they're eating without changing or looking at their diet at all. So, you know, so many of you have probably heard of the old adage of 70% diet, 30% exercise. Yes, that is definitely true, but there's a little more behind why that is. It goes into actual weights of food as they go onto your body. We can look at water weight, we can look at sweat, we can look at any of those sorts of things, and we start to get a whole bunch of variables that make it too hard to simply lose weight by trying to out-exercise the food that we eat. That, as well as it's just not efficient. You would have to spend upwards of 3 or 4 hours in the gym a day if you were going to try and get into calorie deficit by simply working out but not changing anything about your diet. If you want to lose weight, you have to count calories, you have to work hard in the gym as well. It has to be both. The workouts, however, are not pointless. They are there to sculpt your body for you. So they are there to build muscle underneath what you already have there. Once we start to strip away the fat, that's when you're going to see the results. It's not a case of, okay, I need to lose, or I want to lose weight off of my legs, therefore I'm going to go and do 100 squats in the gym. That's not what's going to make fat fall off your legs. Being in calorie deficit will do that. When we work out, our body doesn't discriminate where it burns fat from. It's only going to choose the easiest source for it. So whether that is the stomach, the arms, the legs, the calves, the neck, anything at all, where it's taking its fat from, it doesn't discriminate. So it's not going to choose a specific area simply because you have worked that area out or you want that one area to change. You have to put in the work with calories to make that change. If you want a certain area of your body to look good, so your bum or your thighs or your arms or something, that's when the gym comes into it in terms of, okay, let's build muscle in that area so that when your calories are under control and you've stripped away that fat, that area is going to look really good for you. So the workouts are really important for that body sculpting and body image, but they're not necessarily quite as important as the calorie control for actually burning body fat. Something that is a really big tool in terms of exercise is NEAT. This is non-exercise activated thermogenesis. So basically, we are looking at all of the incidental things you do throughout the day that are going to burn energy, that are going to take up energy. We can look at things as simple as producing body heat, so staying at a constant temperature in our core relies a lot of energy. Breathing, eating, digesting, keeping our blood flowing, all of those things are burning calories for us. So now we can look at things outside of that as well that are going to start to burn some more calories for us. So walking more often, taking the stairs instead of taking an elevator or an escalator, riding your bike to work instead of taking the car, even taking public transport forces you to walk more than you would have before. Not trying to find the closest park in the shopping center, you can park further away so that you're walking more. Gardening, playing sport with friends, going outside. There are so many different ways that you can get that activity up, guys. And those are really, really, really massive tools for actually burning that fat away from the body. These are the things that are going to raise the amount of energy that you're expending during the day rather than the gym session that you're doing. These are the things that are going to really add up in terms of the amount of calories that you're going to be burning. So try and increase as much incidental activity as you possibly can, especially your walking. Your walking is your biggest friend in this tool for weight loss. Look at increasing that as much as you possibly can. It doesn't have to be something crazy of hitting 10,000 steps every single day. It can even just be having a lower average of making sure you never drop below 5,000 steps a day, maintaining that instead. Those are kind of all of the things that you need to know about weight loss. So if you feel yourself coming up with a question like, hey Marty, am I allowed to eat this thing? Yes, you are allowed to eat anything that you want as long as it fits into your calories. Hey Marty, if I do 6 gym sessions this week, does that mean that I'm going to lose more weight? Not necessarily. Are your calories under control? Then you're going to lose weight, okay? You get the idea. Anything that I've covered here, basically try and relate it back to any questions that you might have later on in the program, just so that the education process sticks in a little better, so that we kind of eliminate a lot of the BS that you're going to hear outside of this program in terms of, this supplement is the only way to lose weight, or never eat these 3 foods, or never do this exercise, or certain things like that. It's kind of just crap. It's marketing ploys. Just stick to the basics of calories in versus calories out, and you guys will absolutely dominate this challenge. Now, looking at being in calorie deficit, we also need to look at the experience of hunger. A lot of you guys probably haven't been in a consistent calorie deficit for more than 2 or 3 weeks to really experience weight loss and hit the goals that you want. You are going to experience hunger pains with this. You are going to experience cravings. What you need to do is identify when those things are happening and strategies that you can put in place to avoid them throwing you off course towards your goals. So let's look at cravings to start with. I've tried to do some work to eliminate some of these cravings for you by putting in snacks that you guys are going to crave. So whether that's chocolate or chips or dips or anything like that, takeaway options like pizza or sushi, things like that. I've incorporated those into your meal plans so that if you really are craving that thing, you can have a hit of it and try and just quell that hunger a little bit as well. If we're talking about hunger pains, there are a number of different things you can do. You can have lower calorie options that are going to fill you up more. So let's look at something like a burger versus rice and chicken. You're going to be able to have, let's say if we're looking at 400 calories of something. If we're looking at a pizza, for instance, you might be able to have 2.5 slices of any pizza, or you could have, a whole cup of rice and a whole chicken breast or something and still be within your calories there. the amount of food that you're having in those things is completely disproportionate in terms of so much over here with the lower calorie options versus so much less with the higher calorie options here. So number one, if you're getting hunger pains, try and go for lower calorie options because you can have way more of that food and actually fill your belly up without going over your calories. Another strategy is to be drinking a lot more water. This will basically give you a more satiated feeling in terms of being full more often. You can also use appetite suppressants such as caffeine, so coffees, trying to stick to non-milk coffees, so long blacks or espressos, things like that. Coke Zero, Pepsi Max, any of those things that are 0 calorie drinks, totally fine, and they will help you with both cravings for sweet things as well as hunger pains in terms of them being an appetite suppressant as well. Any teas, have 40 teas a day if you need to get you through. Basically, these are the sorts of things you need to be looking at in terms of the strategies you can use to get through this period of cravings, hunger pains, things like that. Once you've gotten through that opening 2 weeks, it's going to start calming down. Your body is going to adjust to the calories that you're on, and it's not going to feel like this is the hardest thing in the world that I've ever had to do anymore. It's going to feel easier for you guys. With that, we also want to look at measurements. So we want to make sure that you guys know that you are constantly losing weight and that you're constantly still moving in a direction towards the goal that you want to hit. So we're going to do that in a couple of different ways. Number one, the most important one, is really consistent measurements of your weight. So as all of you guys have already been doing every single morning, use the bathroom, take your clothes off and weigh yourself, record that data, keep your weekly averages and watch those weekly averages go down. It's not going to be something crazy of every time you step on the scales, you're supposed to see the weight go down. You are probably quite often going to see the weight go up from where you were the previous day. Don't freak out about this. This can be 100 different things. You need to look at all of the different variables of, have I had exactly the same amount of water as I did yesterday? Did I eat my meals at exactly the same time? Did I have exactly the same portions in that meal? Did I have my lunch too late? Did I work out today versus did I work out yesterday? How much have I walked today? You get the idea. Like, there's so many different variables where it's hard to tell, oh, I put on weight today because my weight has gone up. No, you may not have. It's probably more likely the fact that you've drunk more, you've eaten at different times, things like that. The very next day, you're going to see that weight come back down, or the day after, and you're going to see those averages start to slowly come down. It might be slow, it might be 0.5 of a kilo at once, but they will start to come down if you're weighing yourself consistently and doing all of the right things that I've put in place for you there. So, weighing yourself really regularly and not freaking out when you see that weight go up, as well as full body measurements. What we're going to be doing here is taking circumferences of certain areas on the body. So arms, waist, chest, hips, legs, things like that. Really important landmarks on the body for weight loss. And basically we're just going to be tracking what's happening with these so you can see which parts of the body you're actually losing your fat from. We're only going to be doing those things once a week because we sort of need a little bit longer to actually be able to see change happen to the body in those areas. It's not something as simple as your weight where it's going to fluctuate really, really often. It will sort of change and stay that way as long as you're doing the right things. Last thing I want to talk about this is that some of you are probably going to be talking about, oh, I just don't feel like doing something today, or God, I just have no motivation today or this week or something. Motivation is complete bullshit. You guys are all adults. You guys are totally capable of making your own decisions and sticking by them. you know that if you have that burger and a milkshake and chips and all of that stuff, that you're going to go over your calories for that day. That has nothing to do with motivation. You have every tool you need in your fingertips to not do that thing. Just make an adult decision to not do that thing and stick to your plan. Talk to me, talk to anybody else in the group. You guys are going to be going through exactly the same thing as each other. So try to use each other as tools to get through this. If you hear that somebody is struggling in the same thing as you are, or has the same craving as you, that's really going to help you, knowing that, oh, well, this person didn't break their diet. That means I don't have to. Like, I'm going to be able to get through this if they can. So I sort of don't want to hear that, oh, I'm just not motivated to do this thing, or oops, forgot to do this, or oops, I was just feeling lazy today. Total crap. Work hard. If you want this, if this is something that you actually need to achieve and want to achieve, just put the work in. It's 8 weeks of your life. You can do that. You can have some food afterwards to feel happy again. But if you stick to this, it's going to work for you. So just make hard decisions and you will hit those goals. Guys, I'm really, really excited about this challenge. You guys are all going to do an absolutely fantastic job. I know some of the things that I've talked about in this video might sound a little bit harsh, or like I'm coming down on you before you've even tried anything. Don't worry about that. It's just because I know some of these things that you're going to go through from either doing them myself or having run these challenges before and knowing how they're going to work. So just trust me in everything that I've given you and stick to it, and you will be there. That's the number one thing. Stick to these programs, stick to the workouts, stick to the food, and you guys are going to absolutely smash your goals, every single one of you. Work hard, guys. I'm here with you every single step of the way, so use me as a tool for whatever you need. Ask me as many questions as you want, and I'm here to answer them for you. Let's absolutely smash this challenge today, guys. Good luck.